Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see about the Indian Contract Act 1872 in commercial law. The Indian Contract Act came into force from 1st day of September 1872. The aim of the Indian Contract Act is first we have to make a uniform rules and regulations throughout the country. It is the foundation for business enterprises. The laws they are created relating to agency, sales and negotiable instruments, partnership and company enterprise for all in the specialized fields of contract. Now we are going to see about the definitions. The first definition is contract. According to section 2 subsection H, a contract is defined as an agreement which is enforceable by law. In this definition you can see the main two informations are present. First one is agreement and another one is enforceable by law. First we will see what is agreement. I give the definition is according to section 2E, every promise or set of promises forming consideration for each other. This is the definition of agreement. I will explain what is agreement. It means the promise must form consideration for each other. The consideration it means it's called benefit. So both the persons for creating the agreement they are getting benefit, then it is called as a agreement. If any one person they are not getting any benefits, then it is not called as a agreement. Once both the persons are getting benefited only, it is called as a consideration. Okay, so if the promise forming consideration for each other, then it is called as an agreement. So what is meant by promise? According to section 2 subsection B, when a person made a proposal to another to whom proposal is made, if proposal is assented thereto. The proposal it means it's called as offer. So for example, I am offering a pen. It is called as proposal. Once the proposal is accepted by the other person. So I am offering a pen. Someone is accepting to buy that pen, then it is called as an acceptance. So offer and acceptance both are creating is called as an agreement. So proposal it means by offer. Now we are seeing the definition of offer. According to section 2 subsection A, when a person made a proposal, when he signifies to another his willingness to do or to abstain from doing something. Here they mention what is offer. So I am making a offer in the view of getting the willingness from the other person. So once you are creating offer, the no one is willing to buy the product means it is not called as a valid offer. So if you are creating offer, you have to attract the opposite person. That's why it signifies to another his willingness. So the offer and acceptance both only making the agreement. Once the offer is there but there is no acceptance, then there is no agreement. So offer plus acceptance is equal to agreement. The next definition, so for contract we need two informations. One is agreement and another one is enforceability. Already we saw what is agreement. Now we are going to see what is enforceability by law. Enforceability by law means once the person does not do the duty in the contract. So contract means agreement plus enforceability, it is called as contract. The agreement is there but one person is not fulfilling his duty, then the person one who get affected, that person can enforceable in the court. Enforceable in the court means they can take legal action against the person. It is called as enforceable. So one person have the enforceability for non-fulfillment of the duty, then it is called as enforceability by law. In case there is no enforceability in the contract, in case any person cannot take any legal action, then it is not called as a contract. So for the contract, agreement plus enforceability is equal to contract. The next definition is consensus addendum. According to section 13, meeting of minds or unity of minds are receiving the same thing in the same sense at same time. So it means you are conveying one information, that information is understandable in the same manner by the opposite person. The communication get different or some misunderstanding in the conversation, then there is no consensus addendum. So the matter which you are conveyed, it must be understandable in the same manner on the opposite side. Then only it is called as a consensus addendum. The next one is agreement is a very wide term. It means the agreement, you have two types. One is social agreement and another one is legal agreement. Social agreement, it means we have a certain agreement between the family members or some relatives or with your friends. It is called as a social agreement. I'll give one example. If A invites B to your dinner and B accepts the invitation, it is called as a social agreement. So one person inviting you for a dinner, you also go for the dinner, it is called as a social agreement. If the dinner, you can't go for the dinner, then the B is the person cannot enforce. They cannot take any legal action against you because of your not coming for the dinner. So that's called as a social agreement. So the social agreement cannot give contractual relations. They cannot create any legal relation between A and B. I give one more example is A is a person promised to pay his son 100 rupees every month as packet allowance. So one father is paying 100 rupees to his son for a packet allowance. Afterwards, he refuses to pay for some personal reasons. Then the son cannot recover the amount in legal relations. They cannot take any legal action against his father because it is a domestic agreement or it is a social agreement. So father and son, it is a social relation. So they cannot take any legal relations between father and son. So we conclude that all agreements are contract, social agreement. All agreements are contracts, but all contracts are not agreements. So contract is equal to agreement plus enforceability by law. So agreement must be there plus enforceable is also there, then you can make a valid contract. In case if there is no enforceability, we cannot make a valid contract. Next we will going to see about the essential elements of a valid contract under section 10. Essential elements means what are the informations, what are the valid points required for making a valid contract. That is called as the essential elements of a valid contract. The first one is offer and acceptance. Second one is intention to create legal relationship. Third one is lawful consideration. Fourth one is lawful object. Fifth one is competent of parties. Sixth one is free consent. Seventh one, agreements not declared void. Eighth one is certainty and possibility of performance. We will going to see in detail. First one, offer and acceptance. So we will see already what is mean by offer and what is mean by acceptance. So once a person, the proposal is created, that is called as offer. That proposal is accepted by the other person, it is called as an acceptance. So both offer and acceptance is necessary for creating the contract. That is the first essentials of contract. And the second one is intention to create legal relationship. So both the parties must create legal relationship. If there is no relationship, legal relationship, then there is no contract. We will see about the one case law is called as Balfour vs. Balfour for intention to create legal relationship. Balfour vs. Balfour means one husband and one wife. So husband is providing a household allowance ₹1,000 every month. Later he is refused to pay the household allowance rupees 1000 per month. Then the wife suit against, the wife filed a case against the husband, and then the case was dismissed because of there is no legal relationship between husband and wife. So this is called as a social agreement. So social agreement, we cannot create a valid contract. So if there is a legal relationship only, we can create a valid contract. So if there is no legal relation, then there is no contract. Then next one is lawful consideration. Consideration is mean by, it is called as benefit. So what is lawful consideration? Lawful consideration, it's mean by the consideration must be in a legal manner, then it is called as a lawful consideration. Here I have given one word is consideration is something in return for the promise. Both the parties give something and take something. So both the persons get benefited. It may be money or it may be in goods. So if both the persons get benefited only, it is called as a lawful consideration. What is illegal consideration? For the illegal activities like smuggling, or some person is doing some illegal activities, for that any person get benefited, then it is called as a illegal consideration. So if the consideration becomes illegal, then you can't create any legal relations. So then it is not called as a contract. Once the consideration is legal, then we can create a legal relations between two parties. So it is called as a valid contract. The next one is lawful object. Object is called as the aim of the agreement. That is called as law, and that aim will be lawful. If the aim it becomes illegal, then you can't create a enforceability. So the object of the agreement must be lawful. And then the object will not be, first point is illegal. You know what is illegal? If you are doing any smuggling, then it is called as an illegal. What is immoral means you are against the principles, you are against the rules, you are against the law, then it is called as a moral means it is called as values. So you are against the values, it is called as immoral. And the third one is opposed to public policy. So we are against the public policy, then it is also called as unlawful object. So first one illegal, immoral, and then third one is opposed to public policy. So these three words are unlawful object. If the three unlawful object is present in your contract, then the contract becomes invalid. You cannot enforceable by law. And the next one is competent of parties. Competent, it means the ability of the person to enter into the contract. In the contract we have two parties. For example, one is A and another one is B. So both the persons have the ability to enter into the contract. What are the abilities? So for entering into the contract, the abilities are, first one is you have be a majority, age of majority. And the second one is you must be in a sound mind person. And the third one, you not be disqualified by any law. So these are the three qualities required for entering into the contract. If any one person affected through minor means he don't have age of majority. Lunatic means he don't have the ability to think over. That is called sound mind. He have the ability to take the decision, is called as a sound mind person. Lunatic means he cannot take any good decisions. See, he is not in a state of mind, he is not in a particular state of mind, he can't think properly. That's why he is called as unsound mind person. And the next one is idiots, etc. Not disqualified in case if there is any one person is called as insolvent, he is called as disqualified person from law. So as a person insolvent, he cannot enter into the contract. So these are the examples for incompetent to enter into the contract. If there is any incompetency, then the contract becomes invalid. And next one is free consent. Free consent means is you should agree upon the contract in the same thing in the same sense. That is called as free consent. Once consent means it's your willingness. That should be free. If anyone is compelling you to accept that offer, it is called as there is no free consent. If you are giving your willingness with your free of mind, if you are giving without any compulsion, you are giving your acceptance, then it is called as a free consent. Your consent may be affected by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation or mistake. So these are the factors it affect your free consent. Then you cannot create a valid contract. Once the consent is free, then you can make a valid contract. This coercion, I will tell you what is in a simple words what is coercion. Coercion means it is called as a physical torture. The undue influence means it is called as a mental torture. And then it's a fraud means with your belief you are doing any fraud. Misrepresentation means without your knowledge you are doing any some activities, it is illegal activity, is called as a misrepresentation. And last one is mistake. If there is any technical errors or if there is any numerical errors, it's called as a mistake. So these are the factors which affect your free consent. And the next one is agreement not declared void. Once the agreement declared void, I will tell you what is void. Void means it is invalid. So once the agreement becomes invalid, you cannot enforce, because the agreement itself it become illegal agreement. Then you cannot enforce the contract. So your agreement also becomes invalid and you cannot enforce also. So then automatically you cannot create a contract. And the last one is certainty and possibility of performance. Certainty and possibility means the agreement must be certain. Why it's a mention is certain means if you want to enter the agreement, at the end you know what going to happen. So if you want to create agreement, you have to know the limitation of the contract. So if you start one contract, for example, if you want to sell 100 tons of oil, okay, but you mention there is no what type of oil, what kilograms and what is a liter, or they are not mentioned any terms in the contract. They just mention they are going to sell 100 tons of oil. So there is no certainty. You don't know what type of oil they are going to sell. So you don't have any clear picture. They don't have any certainty. That is called as certain. And it should not vague. Vague means they are mentioning any critical terms in the contract is called as vague. So it should be understandable by all the persons. Then the terms must be very, very clear and easy understandable by the other person. And then possibility means if you want to make one contract, it should be possible. If there is no possibility, if there is impossibility, then we cannot complete the contract. So at the end the contract becomes invalid. That is called possibility of performance. So all the valid contract is not affected with impossibility and uncertainty. If it is affected, then we cannot make a valid contract. Thank you for the wonderful cooperation.